Well, good morning, guys. I'm underway from Daytona, and I'm headed off. I think I'm going for Titusville today. There's a weather front coming through, and I think it might get a little bit breezy tonight. Gust up to 20. That's what I've seen so far. There looked to be a pretty well-protected anchorage in Titusville, right past one of the bridges, so that's where I'm headed. Okay, I'm at New Smyrna Beach, and I got about a 20-minute wait for the bridge. Missed it by just a couple of minutes. So 10 o'clock, he'll open up, and we'll head on down the way. The clouds have definitely moved in now. It's not raining yet. Doesn't look like it's gonna rain. It's just getting dark. I guess the weather's coming from that direction, actually. The front is. So we're moving right along. Gone, made about 12 miles so far today in the last 2 hours. That's not bad. Well, we're anchored in Titusville, right behind the bridge, like the guidebook said to. It's blowing 15 to 20 knots, probably. A little bit more, maybe occasionally. This seems like a pretty well protected place. I did start my tracking app, and if you watched my video from the other day, you saw where I was dragging at night. Alright, well, here's my app running right now. You can see it's swinging back and forth, which is what this boat does at anchor, when it's windy especially. But it's not going backwards. It's just going back and forth in one spot. So we'll keep an eye on this for a while. Try to show you where we're at. Probably get a lot of wind noise here. But I am tucked in right here behind this little piece of island for the base of the bridge. Wind is kind of coming from that direction. So I got some protection from the land and the bridge, and it's not too rough in here. I don't think there's much current to speak of. So hopefully we'll have a good night. Good morning, guys. Well, I've left Titusville, heading on south. We did not have a very good night in Titusville. I anchored kind of behind a piece of the causeway, and that gave me a lot of protection, I'm sure. But it was still rough, windy, rolly. I had a hard time with the anchor when I first got there. The boat just sails like crazy, and it was raining. And I finally rigged up a bridle on the anchor to make the boat point the way I wanted it to point and stay there. And it took me like 4 or 5 tries in the rain to get that to work, but I finally got it working, and I'll try to video it next time I put it out, which will be any time the wind is more than 8 to 10 knots, just to stop this boat from sailing around. But yesterday it was sailing back and forth so hard that when I came to the end of the swing and the boat turned, it dumped stuff off the counter into my sink. That's how hard it was hitting at the end. The anchor never would have stayed hooked with that. It would have pulled it out. So the bridle worked well, but the boat was not comfortable last night, and I got up many times to check the anchor and check our location. But we're moving on, and hopefully today will be a better day. I see some blue skies showing up back here behind us, so hopefully we'll get some sunlight. We got a lot of rain last night, so a lot of the stuff in the cockpit got wet, so we need some sunlight to dry everything out. Well, guys, we're moving along. The sun has somewhat come out. Kind of a pretty day. You can see behind us, there's some wind waves building. We're going with the wind, so I'm not noticing it too much, but it's blowing like 15 to 17 knots. pretty day. We're making decent time, probably averaging about 6.5 knots. We've gone 24 miles in 3.5 hours, so that's not too bad. And still haven't completely decided where we're going to stop, but I think it'll probably be around Statute Mile 945, somewhere in there. Pick an anchorage out there. Well, I just dropped the anchor here just behind the Melbourne Bridge. It's kind of early for stopping, but the winds were blowing 15 to 25 and the autopilot wasn't like trying to work down these surfing waves, so I decided to go ahead and call it a day. Been going about 6 hours. That's a pretty good day. So I've anchored and we're already starting to swing back and forth, so I'm going to try to video hooking up the bridle to the anchor chain. And I haven't put the snubber on yet either, so I'll try to video that. Probably going to be a lot of wind noise, so won't be able to say much, but we'll see what I can do. First we'll put a rolling hitch on the chain here. Alright, so the snubber's hooked up, the bridle's hooked up. Still not sure which side I'll take the bridle down. Probably take it down the starboard side. I'm going to go ahead and walk this back and get it situated before I let more out. Now we let some more chain out until the snubber takes up the excess. I've already tied the snubber where I wanted to stop at. All right, snubber's tight. Get a little bit of slack in the chain. I go ahead and tie it back around here. It's not too tight. See, I have it run through the block over here to the winch. I get a winch handle ready. And now as the boat swings back the other way, I start taking in the slack. You can see it's right down in there. Let me ease off on the bridle a little bit and see what it does, because it's got us almost broadside right now. You got to remember that I just read about this yesterday, so I don't have a lot of knowledge, just theory. We'll see how it works. Playing with it, that's how you figure it out. Okay, that's bringing the bow farther around. What the article said was I could almost get the bow to sit into these little waves rather than get them broadside. That's got the bow into them a little bit. Anyway, work in progress. We'll see how it goes. All right, well, it's been about 20 minutes. The bridle is still that way. And the boat is still pointing in the same direction. It's not even really drifting back and forth very much, so I mean, we'll still have to watch it, but I think we'll call that a success. I haven't been out and about early enough recently to catch one of these sunrises, or it's been cloudy, one of the two. Yeah, it's a little after 6, and I'm getting ready to leave Melbourne. Good morning, guys. 6:58 on a beautiful Sunday morning, and we're heading out of Melbourne, heading for Fort Pierce. Got busy with the anchor and missed the actual sunrise, but it's still pretty. But anchor came up, just one big ball of mud. All the chain was muddy. It took me a while with a bucket of water to clean it all off. But we're underway now, and let's see how far we make it today. All right, we've been underway for about 4.5 hours. We're just coming into Vero Beach. A lot of small boat traffic. It's a Sunday in Florida, so I guess that's what you get. A lot of small boat traffic. And we're gonna stop up here, probably at the city marina, and get some fuel. About time to get some fuel on board. Besides, I haven't stepped foot off the boat since Friday morning, so we're going on 2.5 days. Time to get out and walk on something besides fiberglass. Well, we got fuel, got a pump out, and we're on our way again. Only took about 30 minutes, and we left there right at 12 noon, so we still got all afternoon to make some miles. I'll have to start looking at the books and trying to decide where I'm going to stop tonight. The places I had picked out, I think, are a little too close. So we'll see. It is a beautiful day. The winds are not as strong as they have been, thank goodness. And hopefully we can get a few miles in. There's nothing like sitting in a busy channel in Fort Pierce on a Sunday afternoon and going around in circles for 30 minutes waiting for the bridge to open. It's a bit of a madhouse out here at times. Jet skis, power boats, big boats, everybody going crazy here. But I got well, 7 more minutes and I'll get through this mess. Boats pretty much everywhere you look. All right, guys, well, we are anchored. We're in Jensen Beach, very close to Stewart. Pulled up behind this bridge here, try to get a little protection, but I think the wind is going east, so I'm not going to need that northern protection today. But it's pretty calm. I was just looking at the weather report and they're calling for it to be like 6 to 8 knots all night, even dropping by morning to 4 knots. So anchoring shouldn't be a problem for tonight, which will be nice. Did a long day. Went about 9.5 hours, 56.5 nautical miles, I think it was. I had a place picked out about 10 miles farther back, but it was still early and still nice and such a pretty day, and I just kept going. I'll probably do a short day tomorrow, shorter day, maybe 6 hours, and then the next day I'll be into Fort Lauderdale, and I have a dock behind a house to tie up to there, so we'll see how that works out. It was real nice today to be able to get off the boat. Other than walking on that dock to pay for the fuel, I've been on this boat for 3 days now. But that's okay. It's a good thing I like the boat. Just kind of settling here, making sure the anchor's stuck good, and then we'll cook up some dinner. I have a steak thawed out and a couple of leftover things I think I'll put together, and we'll have dinner here before too long. But first, I'm gonna sit here and relax, and watch the sunset. It's kind of behind the clouds right now, but hopefully we'll get a decent sunset. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like, click the thumbs up button, and if you want to catch more videos, please click on the subscribe button. Once again, thanks for watching. See you next week.